Lady Rosalind of House Tully made her way across the bridge connecting the twin towers of the crossing. She had urgent business to discuss with her son. She decided to give him command of the southernmost tower, due to the fact that no true-born males remained of House Frey. Slowly she climbed the numerous steps to get to her son, her beloved Brynden Tully, the only living child of Edmure Tully. Not that he had any sort of relationship with his son. Lord Edmure rarely wrote, and never had visited the twin since his imprisonment. She briskly entered her only son's bedchamber. Her summons had been ignored thrice over. Young Brynden Tully had ordered his chamber candles lit as the sun touched the horizon on a very hot, dry evening. Here at the twins of the crossing sat the heir to House Tully, with crumpled parchment at his feet. Rosalind righted the jar of ink from his desk, as it continuously spilled onto the floor.
Your father responded?
Asked Rosalind, though it was more of a statement than a question. Unfortunately, spat Brynden. Rosalind knew of multiple issues that could flare her teenage son's temper, the honor of House Frey being one, his own honor was another.
You ignored my summons. Tell me of your troubles,
demanded Rosalind, though in a soft voice. Father refused, answered Brynden, now matching the softness in her voice.
I see,
Rosalind answered in a questioning tone, trying to urge young Brynden to continue. He refused to name me to the High Council as the representative of the Riverlands, Brynden complained bitterly.
I'm sure he had proper reasoning,
Rosalind retorted. Oh, that much he made very clear, Brynden revealed, as he casually kicked the crumpled letter across the stone floor of his bedchamber. He's concerned with my desire to see House Frey continue to exist. He worries I'll ask the king for legitimization, Brynden revealed.
Tully is our house. The Frey name will be gone within a generation. All true-born Freys fell during the sacking of the twins. Only bastards and women remain,
Rosalind finished. That's what I aim to correct, Brynden argued.
You made these intentions clear to your father, even when he refused to ask the king. Remember, House Frey imprisoned your father for many years, and a wolf warms the king's bed.
Rosalind reminded him. Bastards take their father's name now. The laws have changed, Brynden exclaimed.
The fathers must claim their bastards. Old Walder died at the same time as all his true-born sons,
Rosalind corrected carefully.
Why are we speaking of House Frey, when your lack of appointment is really what is troubling you?
Rosalind then paused, nervous to continue.
If your father intends to sit the council in King's Landing, perhaps now he would name you Lord of Riverrun.
Rosalind attempted to sound optimistic. Brynden's face slightly twisted. He has yet to name me Lord of the Crossing. Why now would he seat me at Riverrun? Brynden asked. Rosalind offered no answer, and picked up the parchment off the ground and attempted to smooth it out.
Your father's imprisonment brought many changes to him. We've never shared a bed since he was released.
Rosalind paused before continuing.
It is why we reside here, not a river run with our lord.
Lady Rosalind spoke, almost to herself. Her eyes glanced to the half-written letter in her hand.
You were writing to Robin Arryn?
Asked his mother. Yes, my cousin has offered me great counsel since my last visit to the Vale, claimed Brynden.
The Arryns have always been wise beyond their years.
Rosalind smiled, and then continued.
Draft a letter to your father, promising to forget this foolishness of preserving House Frey's name. Perhaps he'll consider appointing you.
Rosalind smiled as she approached the door of the bedchamber.
I'd be happy to look it over before you fly the Raven. You know how you sound when you're upset. We want to convince him, not deter him.
Rosalind finished, and Brynden agreed with a stiff nod. The door shut softly, and Brynden spun on the spot. He raged internally to think his father despised him and his mother because they share blood with the Freys. His cousin, Robin Arryn, was correct in his assumptions. Brynden held out hope that his father would someday ride into the twins and bring him back to Riverrun, the proper seat of House Tully. He felt ashamed he could be this naive. If Edmure Tully wanted to treat his son and heir as a Frey, then I will live as a Frey, thought Brynden to himself.